I thought waking up alone in that Chicago hotel room was the worst part. Until I found out, at the company party, who had actually spent the night with me. 6 months of nonstop hustle at the investment firm, and finally, my shot. Presenting our most profitable fund to a room full of elite investors. When I blanked on the tax advantage mid-pitch, I felt it. All that work, slipping through my fingers. I expected more from you, Deborah, my boss said, every syllable laced with disappointment. Opportunities like this don't come around often. Back in my hotel room, I collapsed onto the bed. Months of effort undone by a moment of nerves. Then I heard my father's voice in my head. One mistake doesn't define you. I sat up, took a deep breath. If I couldn't end the day as a success, I'd at least end it with self-respect. I ran a bath, tossed in some lavender salts, put on my favorite perfume, slipped into a dress, and headed to the hotel bar. I was finishing my Cosmopolitan when she appeared. Mind if I join you? She smiled, tired but warm. Looks like you could use some company too. She had a presence, elegant, composed, mysterious. Sure, I said, surprised at my own boldness. Hours blurred into conversation, intimate, vulnerable. Talk of ambition, pressure, loneliness. She listened like no one had in months. You're stronger than you think, she said, locking eyes with me. There was electricity, undeniable and immediate. When I suggested we go upstairs, she hesitated, then said yes. That night was more than passion. It was connection. Raw, real, impossible with a stranger. For the first time in a long time, I felt seen. But in the morning, she was gone. No note. No number. Just her scent, haunting the sheets. I flew home, trying to move on. Back at the office, my boss apologized for being harsh. Praised my work. But my mind kept drifting to her. To that night. I searched everywhere, social media, alumni lists. No luck. No name. Nothing to hold on to. Eventually, I told myself to let it go. One unforgettable night, meant to stay a memory. The months passed. I got promoted. Finally felt like I belonged. At the annual company party, I arrived glowing. Ready to celebrate. Then my boss walked in, and beside him, her. Every memory came flooding back. The touch. The whispers. The connection I thought was real. Come, he said, beaming. I want you to meet Deborah, our best hire of the year. She looked at me, and for a flicker, she froze too. Nice to meet you, Deborah, she said, voice smooth, revealing nothing. I shook her hand, my pulse racing. Likewise, I managed, barely audible. My boss moved on. We were alone. I'm not surprised to see you here, she said quietly. I am, I replied. Why did you disappear? She hesitated. Because that night was perfect. Too perfect, she said softly. And the next day, I found out who you were. I froze. What do you mean? I got a report on new hires. Your photo was in it. She took a breath. I'm a partner in the holding company that owns this firm. Everything clicked, her poise, her business instincts. That's why she disappeared. You ran because I worked for you, I murmured. No, she said. I ran because I couldn't risk compromising your future or mine. My boss returned, beaming. Already getting acquainted? Marina, Deborah's been a star this year. Marina. Finally, a name for the woman I hadn't stopped thinking about. I'm sure, she replied, her look a delicate blend of professionalism and memory. The rest of the party was agony. She moved through the room like she owned it because she did. And I couldn't stop watching her. Later, my boss pulled me aside. Marina wants a quick word. She's in my office. I stepped inside, heart pounding. She was there. Waiting. I've never blurred lines like that before, she said. Never. Then what was that night? I asked. A moment that changed me, she said. But I have responsibilities. Commitments. I'm married. My husband runs one of the biggest investment firms on the East Coast. The word hit like a punch. Husband. That's why I left, she said. But that night made me realize something was missing. Then why no? I asked. In 3 weeks, the divorce goes public. The papers are already signed. I couldn't keep pretending, not after what I felt with you. Before I could respond, footsteps echoed down the hall. Think about what I said, she whispered, opening the door. My boss peeked in. All good, ladies? Marina, your car's waiting. Perfect, she said, her eyes never leaving mine. Deborah, it was a pleasure meeting you officially. I hope our paths cross again. And then she was gone. I sat alone, everything spinning. 3 weeks. 3 weeks could change everything. Or nothing. Staring out at the city lights, I let myself imagine. Maybe that night in Chicago wasn't the end of something. Maybe it was the beginning.